Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys.
I'm Oshs.
I'm Akela.
And we are Cue the Commentary. And on this podcast, we basically do Reddit Am I the A-hole scenarios, which is people writing in their messed up situations and leaving it up to us, the general public, to decide whether or not they are the a-holes in their messed up situations.
Because sometimes you just need that unbiased opinion. And you cannot ask the people around you because maybe they're the asshole or maybe you're the asshole, and we are here to solve that mystery for you. And we love when we hear your feedback and get your 2 cents on the scenarios.
Yeah. So don't forget, guys, rate us on Spotify. We're
almost at 460.
Which is insane. Yeah. Like we're almost, get us to 500, please.
Now,
get us to 500.
After this episode, we'll probably hit 500.
Maybe. Hopefully,
maybe.
You know.
Well, 40 is kind of a lot low key. Maybe 480.
We'll aim high.
Yeah.
We'll aim really high.
Yeah.
Comment if you guys liked the video, after watching it.
Yeah.
And let's begin.
This is a special episode.
It's a spooky one.
We're doing a spooky episode because it is spooky season.
Yep.
So then we'll still be doing our Am I the Asshole, but we will be telling you guys some spooky stories, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, we've been searching some up and actually getting scared while reading them.
No, I was literally reading them last night, and I told Shoshana, no, wait, why am I scared? I'm like, it was like 2 a.m., and I was like, wait, this is scary.
When you're editing it, you have to add the creepy.
I will.
Creepy background music.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, if you're driving, if you're working out, if you are headed to work, if you're on your hot girl walk, whatever you guys are doing while you're listening to this, be prepared to be a little spooked out and just embrace it because it's spooky season and we're festive over here on Cue the Commentary. Okay,
you know where I went? I went to the Casa Loma haunted house.
Oh my god,
it's an experience.
Really? I got invited and I'm like, I don't.
No, you should go.
I believe that place is haunted.
It's creepy.
But do you believe in ghosts?
I don't wanna.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't want to.
It's like a yes or no answer.
I don't want to. I know that it exists, but I'm not gonna give it.
Have you ever had any creepy experiences?
No.
Never?
No. Have you?
No.
I know it goes on and I believe those stories, but I've never had an encounter.
Yeah.
So how am I gonna be like, I believe in ghosts,
I don't
believe in ghosts, but I believe in spirits. Like I know that there's ghost has kind of a negative connotation to it. It's scary, but spirits, it's people who are living in the afterlife or you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And when they pop up to people, it's usually I don't know, a
it's
reminder.
not always a bad thing.
It's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, okay, I definitely get
it. It could
that.
just be a spirit.
Yeah.
That's it.
I definitely believe in ghosts. I'm 100% actually believe in ghosts or spirits or whatever.
If it's spirits, then I do believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
I
feel like they are that, because I hear so many scary stories.
Oh yeah, taking that bad energy home.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about it. I said it's October. I got invited. Let me go, and it's fun. It's actually it's very immersive. The sound effects and the screaming. I was like, oh, I'm actually spooked.
Oh my god, that sounds so fun. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Creepy.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I want to talk about my Botox slightly.
Okay,
right now.
First thing first.
Yeah, first things first, guys. I may look a little different. Okay, but I'm turning to this side usually, so you probably won't even notice it. But if I come close, one eye...
Show them, go closer a little bit.
One eye is lower than the other eye. And my Botox got fucked up, guys. Yeah. We told you guys that we got Botox 3 videos ago.
Yeah, literally. Right? And we were showing them...
And showing them that we need more Botox. Yeah. So we both went back to different injectors. And mine accidentally injected too much on one side. And one side is more relaxed than the other. And it's not ideal, but these things happen. So if you notice that I look a little off, that's definitely why.
It's just it's crazy that it got worse because it happened and she was telling me about it and I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm I literally didn't see it. But then I think now that it's set, I do see it.
Yeah. So as soon as it happened, I was even vlogging throughout the whole weeks of it settling. So I'm looking back at the footage. I'm like,
it wasn't that bad.
Very normal actually. But I noticed it because I know my face, right? Especially if I'm looking back at footage and stuff. And then it just got worse. I woke up and I'm like, oh, that's not my face. Hopefully, it goes away. I have some prescription eye drops. And it's just unfortunate because it's my birthday. My birthday literally just passed 2 days ago.
Belated.
Thank you.
I said happy birthday.
I did.
I told you happy, but I didn't take in oh my god.
Some people, what's crazy? What? Birthdays are very important, and some people message me happy birthday without me even reminding them or posting it. You know what I mean? I'm just oh, you actually think about me,
Yeah.
But these people are my close friends and family. Obviously, I expect that. But even Osa. Or do you know Jordan B?
Yes.
He's like a big. Can I shout him out?
Yeah,
Hold
because
on.
Jordan B has been following both of us for years.
I
comments
love
on
him.
all of our pictures.
Yeah.
Comments, like, sends, like, replies to all stories. Like, he's so nice.
His name is Jordan, yeah, B. Anyways,
he said happy birthday.
He said he's like, it's a national holiday. How do you expect me to forget?
Sweet.
He's just so sweet. I'm like, wow, you remember? Thank you so much.
No, that is so kind.
Yeah, so it's just like without me even posting it, and then
You literally didn't post a thing.
No,
and I
because
just saw you like
my birthday
like,
is postponed till my trip.
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
So then Osa's like, you Libras are so demure. Like, I'm like, yeah, we
like
kinda
not even one post, not even nothing. Yeah.
I'm going on vacation, guys.
You were sending me stuff, and I'm like, "Are you at home?"
Yeah,
like she was at home,
literally
watching
working.
the Menendez brothers.
Not even that. I was editing my vlog. I was just sat editing because I have to do things before my trip next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like working on my birthday.
Fair. That's what I was thinking. Like she's definitely like postponing her birthday
celebration
stuff till
later
when she leaves.
Yeah.
Did you do anything special on the day?
The day before, I went to my mom's house,
Yeah.
and they brought me like a cake and stuff.
Oh,
so
that's
that's really cute.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm going to Mexico, guys. In case I didn't mention where I'm going.
No,
right? I'm going
you didn't
away.
even mention you're going away.
Yeah, so I'm going on vacation. And unfortunately, guys, this week there's a hurricane that is going over. I want to like get the location. It's called Hurricane Milton, and there was a hurricane 2 weeks ago as well, and it's been really rainy there. It's even hurricane season.
Hurricane season right now,
Yeah, so this hurricane is really bad, and it's like in Florida right now as we speak, and people are evacuating and stuff,
Like
and
the water levels are so high.
it's extremely
They're
dangerous.
saying 15 feet.
That's crazy. Like, I'm just constantly monitoring the weather to see if it's like safe even for me to travel. Like, no one died yet, right? Wait.
Did people die?
Wait. Hurricane Helene, which left more than 220 people dead across 6 U.S. states.
Yeah, apparently this is like a really like I've heard about
That's
it.
the last one. This
one that
is
just
Milton,
passed?
yeah.
So
This
is the worst
This is
one.
the worst one.
Yeah, holy shit.
And
I
they're
did
saying
not
as
know
well
that.
as millions without power. Oh my
Holy
gosh.
shit, I did not know that.
That is so sad.
I didn't know it was like that. Bro, that's the crazy part about like certain states like Florida, like it's just like built above
more
water.
tropical states. It's crazy.
It's so delicate.
Yeah.
Like anything can come knock it down.
Yeah,
That's
like
so scary.
you get nice weather, you get nice water, but like these are like the natural
risks. Yeah,
disasters
that-
that come
that
with
come
it
with
too.
it.
Praying for those who are affected by the hurricane,
Yeah,
and
that's so fucked up.
hopefully,
I didn't know that.
yeah, hopefully things like fly by. I went to Casa Loma. You should go.
Okay.
You should go. It's very creepy because like the people who even took those jobs, I kind of am side eyeing them a little bit.
I get it.
'cause
The
I'm
ones who like love to scare people.
Yeah, no. When I tell you, there was like a little Annabelle character
Yeah.
there, and she was like looking at me like
she's,
this.
like, a little
she was
too good.
following me. I'm like, you're really good at this. It's a little
Stop
creepy.
before I punch you in the face.
And then there was like grown ass men in like costumes, very creepy costumes, going up to girls and like staring them down, even chasing them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Have
oh,
you
this is scary.
heard of, hold on, I have to get the name. McCamey Manor. Have you heard of McCamey Manor? Okay, so there's this thing, and I discovered this years ago, like on YouTube, because they film it. So McCamey Manor is something you have to sign up for, and they only take a few people every year. The person who runs this, the people who do this, I personally think are like, they should be on a watch list of some kind. Like, they are so scary. So the McCamey Manor, pretty much you sign up, you get chosen, you have to sign like these waivers. You allow anything can happen, like you can get beat up, you can get teeth, like people get teeth pulled out or something, people get their hair ripped out of their head, like they get suffocated, they get choked, they get like, it is like an actual torture house that you willingly sign up to go to, but it's like a haunted house. But I'm like, how is this even legal? Because it's so terrifying. Like, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called McCamey Manor, and it is so
they
scary.
took spooky season to
No,
like
no,
a
no, no.
whole
They-
other level.
they said,
is this
"Come
only in
experience-"
October? Like,
I don't know.
during Halloween time?
That I don't know, because I seen like, and it popped up on my TikTok again because this one girl went multiple times, and the first time she went, she couldn't finish it. The goal is to try to finish through and like go from the beginning to end.
Oh, it's like
but
a
a lot of
challenge.
people,
Okay.
yeah, a lot of people go and they're like, done, I'm finished, get me the fuck out of here, because it's so intense. This one girl, like, they were filming her after the end, they're like, wow, you're really strong, like I can't believe you actually finished it. Da-da-da. She's sitting on the couch, hair ripped out, like shaved off, like it looks like she's like has like black eyes, like she has
Wait.
like snot and like shit all over
She
her
looks
face.
like a mess.
She looks like she just came, like was rescued from like captivity. Like, she looks insane, and she's like, yeah, like I didn't do it last time, but it like, it's like a group of sadistic people that found each other and like have agreed to torture each other. Like it's so weird and crazy. And the guy who runs it has kids and it's in his house and like he lives upstairs, but like it happens like in the base. Like it's so scary. There's a line of like people who are into spooky season and then there's people who are like, you're weird.
Yeah.
No?
It's just people who are like too extreme with like the fetishes or like the weird things. And like I'm talking specifically about like there's this festival that happens in the DMV area. I was watching this vlogger who goes there. He doesn't go there all the time, but he just went to check it out.
Okay.
And it's like a very weird BDSM community who like, I don't know, like.
But is it Halloween related?
No, it's not Halloween related.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, it's just in the, I'm just talking about like people who are into like groups of people who are into weird festivals or like weird
like
gatherings and niche
Yeah.
communities that like we will never like understand, and it's so interesting to like see insight on, because it's a yearly thing that happens but we'll never hear about it, but like they're actually very excited to go every year to go to this everything. And they dress up in like BDSM and like they're into like the dominatrix stuff and like there's a girl there who kicks everyone's balls. Like it's like very intense, so and they line up to get their balls kicked. It's like a mix up of that, and then there's food and drinks and stuff like that, and it's like a celebration. Even
honestly, those kind of things, it's like whatever, you know, do your thing. Just keep it out of the eyes of children, and then also like just don't be a menace. Like just do your stuff. That's fine. Like it is. There's a lot of weird. There's a lot of weirdos in this world.
So
like,
many.
As long as they're not hurting each other. But I guess if they're adults, they're allowed.
Yeah. No, they're consenting to the hurt.
So I guess that's like the same as the McCamey Manor, where it's like, fine.
Yeah.
I guess. The guy who runs it, I want him on a watch list, because who gave you this idea to turn your sadistic idea, like your maybe, I don't know, like what you want to do to people, turn it into people signing up for it.
You know what it is? He went through haunted houses all throughout his life. He said,
missing. This isn't enough.
No, something is. This is not it for me. It's not doing it for me.
I need to beat you up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And talking about spooky season, did you see that girl on TikTok? So let me tell you the story. Girl, regular, like she just started posting this TikTok about like, guys, I think my house is haunted. This is so weird. Like she comes into her office and she's like, things are moved that I would never move. Like this was left on, whatever. She's just like noticing things that are completely out of place that she did not do, and she knows nobody comes into her office other than her. And then her office is on the ground floor, and right in front of it, they were doing some like renovations or whatever, so they're digging out the floor. And then she comes across something hard underneath the floor, and it's like a rolled up carpet. She's TikToking about all of this. She's like, so for her initial TikTok was like, guys, is my house haunted? Like, what is this? And then after that, she posts the thing
like
about
she
finding.
Stitched her own video and like.
No. She like, it's like a next TikTok where she posts about the carpet, and then everyone is like, this is really, really fucking weird. You should get the police involved. Like, what is that doing? Like a rolled up carpet. You don't find a rolled up carpet.
Yeah.
Underground. That could be like a super big red flag. She calls police, and police are like, well, we don't really think it's anything, whatever. Either way, the police get in contact with CSI, the people like a forensic team to come and check it out. So when they come, they bring in like hounds, like hound dogs to smell if there's any kind of human
dead
remains
body,
or something. Like their bloodhounds are like they are trained to do that. They come in and one dog sits down, and when the dog sits down, that indicates that they smell something, so they sit down. And then another dog comes and sits down, and she's like on live stream, like posting this, and like then there was like, oh wait, because the police and like the forensic teams and everything, they're talking kind of secretly away from her because they know that she's on TikTok and they know that she's kind of like talking about this live while it's happening. But anyway, all that to say, it wasn't a body. Like I was so excited. Oh
my God,
because
I was waiting for the body.
No, I was like, oh my God, what if she finds more than one body? I was excited, like you know, because I'm like, what are the odds that you found some weird shit happening in your office? And then that happens?
If you move into a house or an apartment, or you're going to, the way I Google the fuck out of the address,
and
like
people don't do that. They don't do that.
No, you need to. Like, I get it in today's economic climate. You're just like,
I'll take whatever it
is. Hi, let me just move it anywhere. But like the way I Googled even the surrounding areas, like the surrounding streets, to see if anything happened, right? Like you never know what you're getting into. And like, people need to do that more often, because I'm sure
in like real estate school, they tell you like you have to tell people if like any major crimes happened here, if somebody died here in like in an unethical way, like not they fell asleep and they died or something, but like if somebody was murdered here, if a suicide happened here. I remember actually I took a client to a building, and she loved the building, right? We put an offer in. she, like, I was so excited because it was perfect for her location. Like, it was such a good apartment for her. Like, they leave. I go downstairs and I run into this guy because as I'm putting the key away, I run into one of the people who lived on the same floor. We're just chatting and he's like, yeah, I knew the guy who lived in the unit right beside this particular apartment that I was taking her to. And he's like, he was such a nice guy. We'd meet up for coffee sometimes, whatever. Then one day, like, he just didn't answer my text messages. And then I come home from work and there's a bunch of police, like, outside of the apartment, and he took his own life, and he did it in the most gruesome way. He had shot himself in the head, and it was a mess. And he knew some of the guy's extended family. He had spoken to them, and they were in complete shock. They did not know, but this happened only like a year and a half prior. That apartment beside, like, this was her direct neighbor. That apartment beside the girl's apartment, or like the one we just put an offer in, it had been vacant. Like, after he had killed himself, it stayed vacant. So when I told her that, because I had to tell her, like, do you know, she's like, you know what? She was uncomfortable with it. She was so uncomfortable with it. Yeah.
Honestly, I would be too.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know if I would be. Like,
depending on how perfect the apartment is.
It was such a good apartment. I would have been like,
you know what? I'll gaslight myself into thinking nothing happened, actually.
Yeah, like, maybe just like convince yourself, pretty view. Forget about it. Look at that view, though. Like, look at that view, because that view was good.
Yeah. Speaking of that, there's so many like thrillers or like horror movies where that is the plot, where someone was killed in that house.
Oh, yeah.
Before all like the demonic shit goes down.
See, but I would tell myself, it's not in my house. It's in the neighbor's house. That's not my business.
I don't know.
Too close?
I feel like it's like bad vibes still. You don't want that energy around.
No, I hear you.
Yeah,
but in
and
this
he
economy,
might even
as
be
you
there.
said.
So, like, he might be in the apartment living there.
I mean, when you really take in, people do fucked up shit in their apartments all the time. True. And you know what else was so crazy? Because like, just like on the topic of like not knowing what people are really going through, or just like what's happening in people's lives, and obviously you never will. Amber and Lucas Coley.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I've been hearing that story a lot on TikTok.
Because Lucas, I remember seeing Lucas and Amber like from Vine. Like they have been together for so long. And then to see that he passed away was crazy. He was 27 years old. And then eventually it came out that he took his own life. Then Amber, the girlfriend, she started going on live and exposing that they were in a really abusive relationship. And while, like, when he did take his life, she was trying to get away from him. Like, she was running away. She was at her mom's house, and apparently he did it while she was on the phone with him. Like, wow. She heard it happen. And people were kind of blaming her. They were saying, you should have stayed. Like, he kind of left it in a way to say that he took his life because of her, and that's how people interpreted it. It was kind of split. At first, I was seeing people blame her, saying crazy things, and then her just defending herself, saying like, if you have not been in an abusive relationship, you should not be talking about this. And people eventually came around. The whole thing is so sad because all I've seen now is Amber just like crying, and like,
I've seen those clips of her crying on live, and like feel like she feels so guilty over it.
But like, I think maybe that's what was intended.
I haven't been following them for a long time. I did see their like videos, clips pop up here and there. I don't know if they were like consistent on their YouTube channel, or like if their viewers were able to tell if like something was going on behind the scenes. But I've heard a lot of these like internet couples. That's why I'm always side-eyeing these people who like kind of exploit their relationship online.
Their whole relationship is like, you cannot have a channel on your relationship. Like, I'm so against it. It doesn't work. Yeah. We've seen it time and time. Do you even see Gold Juice?
Yeah.
So did they break up?
No, they're not broken up. But I think they're like heading towards that. I think she just realized how like codependent she was on him. And like,
they were together for so long.
They were in each other's assholes too.
Yeah, like, actually in each other's assholes.
And I get it, they're a family, but like,
but even from the beginning, before the kids, like
they were,
and I have just always been so, I've never been a fan of couple channels. I've never liked them.
Even aside from that, you know how like there's actually multiple cases of like internet famous couples, and like the husband killed the wife. Did you hear about that?
I think I've seen a few of them, yeah.
I just want to say it's a lot more common than you think.
Oh, like, for sure. Because first of all, abusive relationships are a lot more common than you think. And so when there's like an aspect of like this pressure put on a couple to be performative, and like you're generating money off of this, and you're kind of like relying, like you guys have to survive, right? Like this is how you're surviving. It's just no way that your relationship is not gonna start becoming like
toxic.
fabricated, like
Yeah.
and toxic, like outside of the cameras. The whole point of a couple's channel, it's like there's a part of it is to be aspirational. People want that. They want your relationship, and you kind of make more money, or you do better if you have a relationship that people want.
Just like name a scenario where a couple's channel was successful, or like they ended up together. Like Ace Family is done. Clarence and Queen. Like how they've been together for 6 years, and she doesn't have a ring, and she has a kid by him, and like even that whole situation, even the opinions about your relationships formed by like the public, that just adds to the toxicity of everyone.
Absolutely.
Like hearing outside opinions and stuff like that, and you know, I'm sure like they internalize some of those opinions too, and they're like, oh, wait, do I deserve better? Should I be in this relationship if I don't have a ring? Like,
and already normal relationships, especially long-term relationships, and this is like a great transition to like all the other topics we're talking about, but like in a normal relationship, you already like doubts are normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like not doubts, but like questioning things, and like just like anything else in your life where you might question anything else in your life, relationships come into that as well. Let alone having other people who you do not know but also rely on them to watch and comment and engage in your media content, whatever, to now like put an opinion on your relationship and like that, like, you know what I mean? It's already hard enough to have a relationship. It's already difficult. And then you want to
focus on one problem.
The best thing is to actually shut up. That's like, and everything in life.
We are cautious about like putting our boyfriends in our content 100%. Or like, because it's my channel, like it's about me. We've done it in the past, like we definitely included it,
but we never made a channel.
It was still a channel about us. Like it was not like them and their boyfriends, like, you know. But like even till this day, I just always will be more cautious about like putting my relationship out there, or like 100%. You know, any relationship, honestly, even like my family out there, or like, you know, I'm just like very like private. More private, you know, about those types of situations.
And the thing is too, it's like the videos we did with our boyfriends, they did the best.
Oh yeah, no,
we got the most views.
Eats up boyfriend content,
like especially when we were younger, when we, like that first, like years ago, we did a video called "Boyfriends Do Our Hair," and like it was a video of her boyfriend and my boyfriend trying to slick down our hair, and it was hilarious. That was the
funniest video
and
ever.
It hit like 2 million views, and I remember that check we got from AdSense. I was like, bro, this is crazy. And the thing with AdSense is the money carries over like to each paycheck, because it's like you don't get one paycheck, you get multiple paychecks for a really viral video.
If the video keeps growing,
you know what I mean? You just keep getting paid. And we're like, oh shit, like what? But we still, even at our young age,
we knew like this is not a boyfriend channel.
No, we can't do that.
No,
like,
it's actually too many people on the channel. Like,
no, 4 people.
No, we cannot.
Get out of
2
here.
Is enough.
Yeah,
please.
no, it was way too much.
But yeah, you see those high numbers with like couple channels and stuff, and you see how they're living and how great it can be, but you don't want to risk your relationship.
And like, are they really happy though?
That's the thing. Like,
at what
you can't
cost?
believe everything you see online. I will never believe these like online couples or like celebrities, you know, that like just pretend like everything's happy and a fantasy, because like that's not real life. That's not a real relationship.
Even though the money is good, there's a lot of things you can do in this life for money, and you have to say no. And boyfriend channel is one of them. But it's like, where does the line go? You know, like, of course, you can sell your bum on the internet.
You can sell everything,
and you can make so much dollars.
Yeah,
but then also you might not, and then that's embarrassing, because you know what I mean. Like, imagine you put your whole boyfriend out there, and you have like a whole channel, and like nobody's really watching.
Yeah,
and it's like, what did I do this for? Even like Melanie and that Chicle guy, that one Spanish couple from New York, and her whole spiel is being mean to him, and she yells at him.
Oh yeah,
they seem to be happy, you know.
Yeah, they're married.
They just got married, I think.
You know what it is though? No, you know what it is though? That's the thing. That's their content is not like happy and stuff. No, they're actually showing like the bad parts about a relationship and stuff. Even though it's too much, but like a part of it is
it's like almost acting a little bit, probably,
you know. But it's not. I feel like the pressure would be worse if you had to pretend you're happy all the time.
Oh, that's true.
Versus
that's
like it's like the complete opposite that they're portraying.
You know what? And I believe this is the key to a successful relationship is a mean girlfriend.
Of course it is.
Like, you cannot be nice to your partner.
It's not mean. It's being hot and cold. That's what it is.
It's a trick.
Like, it's definitely a manipulation.
And then take it back.
Because the thing about men is they love a challenge, and they love what they can't have.
Yep.
So if you're constantly giving them everything, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm kind of bored. Like, this is too easy.
And I try to explain this to people, and it's hard to it's hard to not come off as crazy. But like, from the beginning, you need to set a precedent. I'm not nice. Understand this. In fact, expect mean, and so when I'm nice, you're excited. You know what I mean? You should.
It's a treat.
Like, you should a little. and it's so
Cherry on
funny
top. Like,
because
she's beautiful and nice. Like,
wow, she's
yeah.
being nice to me this time. I'm not saying to be
It's
abusive.
not like abusive.
No,
but
to be like this, like, oh,
I hate that.
Like,
no,
get
actually,
out of my fucking face.
Don't touch me.
And I promise, if you're too nice, men will think they can walk all over you.
Of course.
And then you open the door to all these things where they think they have like power
take
and they're smarter
advantage of you and all this,
and all these things where they start. You know, like it's. I really just think it's a hot and cold game.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's also, you know what though? What's so crazy is like I kind of seen that growing up too. Like my parents not being as like I never seen them hug or kiss actually ever. Maybe like on birthdays or something like that. Like very special holidays, but like they've been together for so long. So I'm like. Maybe that is more
and more we're getting into your upbringing, and I can't wait to get to the root with you.
About like growing up, how we are our parents.
And you know what? I don't know how deep you want to get into it in this conversation, because like
are you about to get into like how you see your parents and your parents' relationships with each other will absolutely be
your
replication of an example,
replica?
Of like a replica of like how you will be in your relationship.
Yes, and also like I'm connecting it to cultures because, and sorry to talk about black men again, but like, you know, sometimes they say, well, not even just black men, but men in general, sometimes they want to be with a woman who's going to be like, I don't know, like,
we can talk about this
and stuff. And I'm like, I see that related to a lot of cultures, right? Like we're Latinas, Filipino, Asian, like
even white.
And white,
everything but black, basically.
Everything but black, because they want to talk bad about black, but like also there's also like societal things where it's like, for example, like Latinas are allowed to be like spicy, but when black women are, it's like aggressive, angry and aggressive. But when it's a Spanish girl, it's like ooh, hot. But whatever. Anyway, how that correlates to like how you are as a woman and how you like interpret these things, because I never saw my mom like be like a housemaker. No, my parents actually were.
They are, and you know
they
what?
used to be like affectionate.
I would go over and I'd see them cuddling on the couch. I was like, wait, what the fuck? They are. Yes,
yeah,
I'd always see her. I always see them like hugging each other on the couch and stuff.
Yeah.
Complete opposite.
No, my dad. Like, my dad was very affectionate.
Very nice to see that. Like,
he would call her beautiful all the time. Yeah. Like she'll come down and he'll like yell like wow, like that's how my dad is.
Cute. Yeah.
And like they would kiss once in a while. That was like
whoa,
when they kissed on the lips.
Stop.
Go to your room. It's upstairs.
Not for the kiss.
It just translates in everything that you do.
So like, you were saying that you've never seen your mom be nice to him, or like no, you were saying be like a housewife.
Like it's never been her personality. She would do it for us.
And so I really do think that it comes with like having a working mom, like being a working mom too. And those who are able to be a working mom and still be very nurturing and be the perfect like housewife and balance it all, like good for you. Because personally, I don't think I would be able to do that. I would be I'm already exhausted.
It's really amazing when you see it happening, because it's
amazing.
Like, they completely neglect
themselves.
Like you, and then that becomes like the standard, and then men have the audacity to expect it.
That's crazy.
Like actually, fuck out of here.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Same way you have your expectations, I have mine too. Like make me a housewife if that's what you want.
That's the thing. But you know what though? All that to say, and I got into this conversation too. It's like, do you actually know how to be a housewife? Because like growing up and seeing it is kind of a privilege too. Because
what do you mean? Like having that example set for you?
Yeah, like knowing.
You know what though? Okay, so I have a cousin. Okay. She grew up with that like housewife example, and she is like, she cleans, she cooks, she prepares food for the family for the week,
and she thinks of other people.
She's so considerate. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is from your mom,
and that's like you've been taught and like trained almost, like from childhood. But when you grow up and you didn't have that, you have to learn it on your own.
No, literally,
and it's like kind of like I'm fighting some kind of power in the air where it's like I don't want to do this, but must I do this? Like I must. I don't know, like
because we've seen it in the reverse where they don't do that, like with their moms, and like everything seems fine.
Literally, I grew up with a dad who was very, very hands on.
Yeah,
he cooked. My dad's a chef. Like he literally cooked only. My mom cleaned, But they both cleaned.
I really don't believe in like gender roles for those types of things because like even my boyfriend, he cooks a lot. You know, I can cook too. But like I love that they can cook. Yeah. Like, you know, and don't depend on us for like a meal. Like feed yourself and feed me too. Like, you know, and feed the kids if you ever have kids, you know? So like I like that too, like with your dad, that like it's not expected for him to just like, you know, go work and stuff like that. Like,
I'm not expected to be a wife. Like my boyfriend knows. He's like, you weren't really raised like that, so I kind of get that.
I feel like the expectations are definitely changing though. I think men are beginning to realize, how do you expect me to work a full days of work, come home and do everything? Like, no, it has to be, everything has to be split, all the responsibilities and everything.
It's like we will both work today. Like, you can't expect that. Why am I gonna come home now, do the laundry, wash the dishes, and cook?
That's
what
crazy.
Are you doing after work? You're sitting?
Literally. Like, you can't. And like, we don't have that cultural like example or like
that's what
expectation.
I'm saying. There's a cultural example
too, because like, we're Canadian. I won't feel bad if I'm just like expecting things of my man.
Best girlfriends are actually the girls who like acknowledge and hate men as well.
Yeah, because we're not talking about our experiences.
No, we're not talking about our men.
No, it's just clearly the men that we observe.
Men
like,
in general.
Men in general.
And I think men too. I think everyone should have a healthy fear and hate towards men.
Yeah,
I think that's
an expectation of disappointment too.
Yeah,
why not watching Love Is Blind?
Oh my God, not Love Is Blind.
No, because
spoiler alert though. Spoiler alert.
No,
if you haven't
I posted on my story and they're like, really? Like, why would you post
that?
this?
Why would you post that? That was like a later episode. I'm like, girl.
I honestly thought everyone was watching it. No. Sorry. Yeah. So like, there's a couple new episodes that are still gonna come out. Today. Like them going to Mexico, really, and then them meeting the family and stuff. But like, I love how like while we are watching live in the moment, the tea is getting spilled on TikTok as well.
They have like the loosest NDA in the whole industry. They just be allowing them to take interviews before the show's done. Like, why are you ruining it for us? I don't really get Love Is Blind, like the production. Actually. Like,
I don't get it.
Why are you already on interviews? Why are you guys already home? So we know nothing happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going? Can you guys shut up? Yeah.
But we just found out that a big character on the show, his name is Tyler.
Yeah.
He was doing this whole experiment, found his girl, never brought up the fact that he's a father of 3 and he's a bad father of 3 too.
Wait,
like,
so he never brought up that he has kids?
No, never brought it up, not once.
Because that's
I would think that's like a huge part in your life. Like, you know, like
even if you're not in their life, you have to disclose you have kids. It's actually the law.
Yeah, apparently he hasn't spoken to them in a year, which is crazy. No, men can really just. I'm living another life now. I don't like that life.
I choose to.
I choose peace. I don't like this life. I need to find another girl and do it again and ruin her life.
I couldn't believe it because 100% Tyler and Ashley were my number one couple.
Really?
Yeah, they were literally. I'm like, oh, these guys are perfect. I love to see black love, and I was so sure that they were the most genuine couple. And now I have no hope for none of them.
Honestly, the show is just for entertainment purposes. Never will I ever really believe Love Is Blind. Like, I'm sorry, it just.
But they've had successful couples that are still together now.
They have, but I'm gonna go with like the majority didn't. So
you know what I mean? Like, majority won't because love is not blind.
Yeah, it's not.
Every season we're proven love is not blind.
Yeah. Obviously, physical attraction is very important, but it's like as you grow to know a person too, like how quickly you guys get engaged and then married, and like I get it, like arranged marriages are normal in some cultures too, but I just don't believe in like the timeline of things. Like you need to let a relationship
in our
grow
culture
and like resonate. Like you can't just accelerate to the wedding. Like I have big doubts in my mind for all of them.
It worked for some people.
Yeah.
Because I think for the most part there was attraction there. And the thing that they're like kind of glossing over and like making not a big thing, like Love Is Blind, whatever, it's like with attraction comes a lot of other things. Comes more patience, intimacy, and then people who might not deem themselves as attractive, that comes insecurity, and insecurity like bleeds into your personality and lack of confidence, and like it affects everything you do, like how you perceive yourself, and then how you guys are attracted to each other, like ripples into everything else about your relationship. So it's not Love Is Blind. It's like you can't say looks don't matter. It is integral. It is a very important part of a relationship that there is attraction there. It's not like, are they beautiful or not? Do they find each other beautiful, and do they find themselves beautiful? Because that is, it's more than just looks. Like it's never been about looks. It's everything else. Because you'll see a couple that you might not find attractive, but they're fucking with each other heavy.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
We've heard it since we were kids. In the eye of the beholder. Yeah. It's crazy. I saw you watching the Menendez brothers.
Yeah, I finally watched.
Did you finish it?
I didn't finish it yet.
Oh, okay.
No. I was like watching it while I was editing. It's a really good watch, especially if you don't know anything about their backstory or whatever. It's very like trigger warning, like sexual abuse.
What episode are you on?
I think I'm on episode 6. Crazy. And the way that they did it though, like, has me question, because like obviously they got abused and stuff, but the way they were buying rollies and making these big purchases after obviously would like make it seem like they are there for their parents' money. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way they went about it that like obviously leaves the public wondering what was really the intent.
I watched like the actual.
There was another
one that came out.
Yeah,
like a documentary for like 2 hours. So that part was accurate. Apparently, they did spend like $700,000. Like after it happened.
Yeah,
but
like 5 days after or something. Yeah,
like that. But they got to speak to the brothers, and they were like, it was like literally to not get caught. Like it was like a plan to not. Like it was like trying to, because at that time they weren't saying that they did it. Oh. You know, so it was like kind of to act like a distraction because they had all this money, but it worked against them.
Yeah.
But still, I still don't understand how the public like just didn't believe them at all.
And I also didn't know that like the dad was also abused.
But still, he's still like a sadistic,
no,
crazy
he's
person.
so fucking weird.
He's
and
so
his
insane.
reasoning for doing it, like the whole Spartans thing,
it's
like
so scary.
Okay, like
so scary.
Yeah,
and the jury was deadlocked, men versus women.
Yeah,
like the men said, "There's no way that a boy can get sexually abused."
Yeah,
and then the women were empathetic, and they were like,
"What are you talking about?
Like what? Like maybe they've had experiences too." They brought up like it took a while for the public to catch up to this reality of like boys being abused. And then like Oprah did an episode on her show. I think like 15 years after, like the studio was full of boys with pictures of themselves as children, and they were all victims of sexual abuse.
Wow.
And it was like a whole episode on boys get abused too, and it was apparently groundbreaking at the time. And Lyle was talking in the documentary, and he's like, this happened like so long after. It was kind of like they were too early for people to understand, and now like this whole generational shift, like in the documentary they talk about it, like this generation, like our generation, we have like a fresh set of eyes. We were not even alive when this happened. We weren't even alive when the trials were happening.
Yeah.
Our generation is very empathetic. Like, you know, like we're very like, no, believe victims, believe what they say. You don't know what their reality was. And just like how long, especially Eric was being abused, like the younger one.
Yeah.
Until he killed his parents.
Yeah,
like they were completely fearful for their lives. And
this documentary is like opening a lot of conversations. Even like Kim Kardashian's trying to get involved.
Kim Kardashian's are like, she said like they've done enough, like 30 years, 35 years in jail. Let them out now. And now that we have all this new information, because now after this, like family members are coming for them, even though family members came for them the first time, because the jury deadlocked, everything is put out to the side. The initial trial, the boys told their stories, but because the jury couldn't come to a sense, like they went over like the evidence and everything for a month, wrote a letter to the judge like there's no way we're gonna come to consensus, and apparently it has to be unanimous. It can't be like, even if it's 11-1, it has to be unanimous. But it was split 50-50. So then when they went to the second trial, Lyle couldn't talk, and they couldn't use the sexual abuse stuff because it was already used in the other one, and that's what they deadlocked on. So when the first trial they did, they wanted it to go from murder, like first degree murder, to manslaughter. There's first degree murder, second degree murder, and then manslaughter, because they're saying if you kill someone where there's no danger, you just killed, you premeditated, and you went and you killed your parents, that's first degree. They weren't actually in danger, but they genuinely believed so. That turned it to manslaughter. So it would have been a 5 to 10 year charge. So they already admitted there's no like guilty, not guilty. We killed our parents. It was just about the degree of murder. And then the second trial, because they couldn't use the defense case of like them being in fear of their lives and like the sexual abuse and all this stuff that led up to the murder, only option was murder or not murder. And it's like, we already said we murdered them. So they had to take that charge. So it's like, it's fucked up. So sad. And then it happening with OJ Simpson happening and the Rodney King riots. Yeah. All was happening at the same time.
The 80s was a crazy time. It happened in 89.
Yeah,
right?
like the trial was happening in the 90s.
Right
so
in the beginning.
That Rodney King happened, like in 91?
I think so.
And then OJ got let out. Their DA had like a point to prove, like, there's too many bad things. Like, we made too many mistakes. Yeah. The Menendez brothers have to go to jail.
What a crazy time. Okay, well, speaking of social media, should we go over a couple of things that like people in relationships should keep in mind, specifically men, when it comes to like social media etiquette, things not to do when you are in a relationship.
Okay, what do you
men and women?
Yeah.
Okay, so things that are off limits for me, because I guess it's different in every relationship and how people view it too. But no liking,
100%.
Definitely no commenting. Definitely no.
Commenting is crazy.
No, commenting
it's
is
like
crazy.
going on the top of a building and using a bullhorn, because you might as well, and let the world know that you've commented on this girl's photo. Like, that's the same.
You mean like a megaphone?
Yeah, a
like,
megaphone. Yeah.
And say, I love this.
Yeah,
like,
I love this girl. She's
basically,
beautiful.
Yeah. Story liking. I want all the girls to know
happening.
Yeah, whose story your man is liking.
I think you should check their phones.
I know. And DMs, obviously not.
Yeah.
Like, DMs is like crazy. Even following. Don't like. You
No.
can't follow any new girls once you're in a relationship.
No.
That's crazy.
I think just almost don't use your account. Like, I would that's what I would say.
Even there's like on settings, there's like deactivate.
Yeah.
Like deactivate account.
Yeah. No, it's like
that's better
Instagram for men should just be like your friends, like
Yeah.
people you know, other men.
Yeah.
Where you
your
like each
girlfriend.
other's posts, and then and then just your girlfriend.
Just
like,
keep it simple.
Yeah.
Why do you need to complicate things? It's
I
fine.
don't know. I don't really
Yeah.
get that. I see when you brought that topic up, I was thinking like the etiquette that like we have with like having a relationship, like not showing their face, not showing them.
There's a lot that goes into this too.
I don't know. We're just like private people, I think. Like, but I
Yeah.
also admire when people show their boyfriends and girlfriends. I think it's really sweet. But then it's also like there's so many stories. Like, I know people.
That's the thing. I know people and I know people talk. And I don't know, like I'm not saying my man's doing anything crazy, but it's just like that leaves so much open space for conversation about your partner.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I know like these people who just got married, and like I know that man is bad. Like, I know what he's
See
doing.
what I mean? Like,
yes. And
that's the thing.
married though.
No, married is just got married too. Like,
Just married.
do people not realize how serious of a commitment marriage is? Like, I don't think people deep it, and they're just like getting married to get married, maybe because of like
Family.
their parents
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, or they're at the age where they're supposed to be married,
Yeah.
or they found someone who's maybe a suitable baby mom,
Yeah.
or like woman to have children with, but he's
Right.
not really in love with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy because when you're marrying someone, it's the whole legal binding of it all too. Like, it's not just like you're actually like one. Like, you become one. Like, it's crazy to me that people are just getting married to people who they are not 1,000,000% certain about.
Or they're just like their dogs. Like, I don't know what's wrong with them, because like this one person, I know. It's not to me. Like, I know who he's talking to. I know that he says inappropriate things. Like, I know he leaves inappropriate comments in the DMs. Like, I know. And it's like, she would never know. The wife will never know.
But why? Can we find out a way to let her know?
No.
So would you ever come to a girl as a woman?
Ah, man.
I'm 100. Even me, like, I'm a little weird.
What?
Because I have a private account. Okay. I have
Do you? You have a
secret
burner?
account. Of course I have a burner. What do you
I
mean?
don't use my burner anymore.
I don't use it.
I used to.
But this situation made me want to go and use it. And I don't even know how bored I was that day, because I really like, after watching them on YouTube, because like I really like, I like this guy on YouTube. Like, I like his content, and he shows a lot of family stuff too.
Are you going to say names?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to say names. But I went through his Instagram following. Baddie after baddie, okay? This man is married with 3 kids. And like local baddies, like girls who live in his city. Like, I know where he lives, and it's girls that live in his city, okay? And I even went a step further to click on their accounts and see that this man has been liking every post of theirs where skin is showing. And his wife does not look anything like these girls.
Oh, and see, that's my beef.
So what I did.
Yeah. What did you do, Shoshana? What did you do?
So I screenshotted these photos.
Did you DM?
No, I'm
her?
actually crazy. I tried to DM.
Shoshana!
What? I'm sorry. I have to let her know, because I'm invested in your family now. Like, you're not gonna lie to me. Yeah, no,
And
I love you guys, and you're not gonna do this to my girl. Like,
Oh
absolutely
my
not.
God!
So I screenshotted.
This is so funny.
No, I screenshotted his name underneath every single picture of these girls. Not one girl, multiple girls. Like, all the girls that he's following.
Oh my God.
And I tried to send it to her DM from my burner account. It didn't allow me to send pictures.
Do you guys follow each other?
No, I follow her man.
Okay.
Right? Because like I like his content.
He's the YouTuber.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Okay.
And she has a YouTube channel too, but it's like small, and she's just like featured on it. So I found her account. I'm actually so funny, because I found her account, tried to DM her. It wouldn't allow me to DM, so I couldn't DM her. Yeah. But I would have.
But
I was literally.
So you are the girl who's gonna tell.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And like, that's what I have a hard time, because like I would expect the same to. Tell me, like, let me know what's going on. What the hell?
100%.
Don't have me looking like a fool out here. But like, my thing is, I know his wife is on IG like that. So can't you, like, you don't go through your man's following?
She probably knows.
But why would you allow him to like? No, because like it's only like I have to tell you once. Like that's it. Don't let me tell you twice because I'm actually gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Don't like, you know what I mean?
No, I
it's
have
just
to leave you.
embarrassing. Like you're out here liking and like now he has like a lot of clout. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how long I've been in a relationship with someone, married or not. You cannot
Never
be.
trust.
No, it's not even that. You cannot be embarrassing me. And I get that people are like, it's just a like it doesn't mean anything. Because a lot of girls have that mentality.
That's so crazy.
It's crazy because I know that when a guy likes my photo, it implies something else.
Yeah.
We can get into the whole DM conversation too. But like we know what that implies.
No, it's
so
so
if you're
weird.
gonna do that to someone, they know what that implies. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the same.
We know people who are in our DMs and we know their girlfriend.
No, we know.
Like in real life, not even on the online presence. Like in a real life, we know them. And it's like, what do you not know this is like super inappropriate?
It's very inappropriate.
I'll call the police on you today.
No, like I don't know. And like you don't know if you want to overstep that boundary of
But that's the thing, like you can't, like now we're grown, Shoshana, so we can't like just like tell people like, hey, you're you can't say hey girly to everybody unless you have concrete evidence.
See, I don't even know that girl.
And no, you're crazy for that. You're actually insane.
I'm sorry. I wanted to help her out. I seen that she has kids.
But I promise you she knows. I know. How can she not know? No, she knows.
And she's like kind of crazy about her man.
Yeah, like there's no way she doesn't know. She knows.
And she's just okay with it.
No, this is a fight that happens in their house every day, probably. Like I'm telling you, this is
really
like you knowing means she been known. And means they've already fought about it.
That's crazy.
And he just refuses.
That's crazy.
That's and he gives me like just by seeing him, I'm not really gonna listen to you. Like I'm gonna do it anyway.
That is crazy.
You know?
Can never be. No.
That's actually calling it to be you. That's
don't.
actually testing the universe to show you how it's gonna be you. You don't say it can never be me. That's bad luck.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. But yeah, about going to another girl about the relationship, it's like I just feel like if you asked me this 2 years ago, I would have been like 100% I would do this. But now that I'm older, I feel like
it's none of my business.
It's almost none of my business because you don't know what they already know and what they're okay with. And it's like you interfering in somebody's real life is not allowed. I feel like you can get in big trouble even if it's a friend.
You just have to realize that like not everyone is you.
Exactly.
And they wouldn't handle situations like how you would.
Exactly.
I would be like, thank you.
Yeah, but you
never know how a next girl might be like, or like
business.
You're hating, like why the fuck? Oh, okay. Let me actually butt out of this.
Exactly. So like, I would be kind of scared now because now I'm like, no, this can go multiple ways. You don't know, especially with
what
girls,
a boundary is, or like
there's
what that boundary is for people.
And that's why like when you get older, we'll see more fucked up shit in other people's relationship. We'll see like. They're not being nice to their kids. Like we'll see. Like he never helps her out.
Crazy.
Why don't you? You can't.
It was actually so crazy.
Yeah, you cannot go and be like, girl, like, no, like we're not kiki anymore. These are people's lives, so we can't. You know what I mean? Like, like I don't know. I just don't think we're allowed to anymore. I think we've passed that age. I think, especially with like married couples, can't say nothing. And I'm telling you, that married man, I know him.
No, you told me about him.
So,
yeah, man, go through your man's phone. I'm a big advocate for this. I should even put at the end of every single video.
Don't forget. At
the end of the night, when that man closes his eyes, go through his phone.
So do you still go through your man's phone?
I don't. I haven't in a long fucking time. I haven't felt the need to.
I don't feel the need to either because
it's been years.
I just feel like it's not my boyfriend's character to even. I've just trained him really well now,
basically,
and
he's well trained.
Scared of me.
You know what? Oh, sorry. Wait.
What were you gonna say?
No, what were you saying?
What were you saying? Yeah, he's terrified of me. He's so scared to get on my bad side.
And it's not worth the risk too.
That's what it is.
Losing your girlfriend of how many years now?
Like 7-8 years. Yeah.
Lots of.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say. So I was watching another podcast, and it's like a sister podcast. One of the girls is married. She's been in a relationship. She has 3 kids with this man.
Right.
The other sister she's the older one, and she's like unmarried, dating, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So the married sister is basically saying how like if her and her man ever get divorced, she's only gonna date men with kids or men who have been married before.
Yep.
Because there's so much that comes with what a married man has been through and learned. Being like he's never got screamed at before. Like I need to know that you've been
abused.
Abused, screamed
by
at
somebody else. And that's the beauty of growing up. And as we grow, it's so beautiful. We grow older and we need different things. I don't want the man that everybody wants. I don't want the younger, the hot guy. No, I want a guy who knows life. I want a guy who who's been around. He knows how kids are. He knows how to handle kids.
Yeah.
He knows what a marriage entails.
Especially for someone who already has kids.
Yeah.
I want someone who has kids. Like, who knows?
I
like,
need a divorced
priorities
dad.
in life. You know
Give
what
me
I mean?
a divorced
Exactly.
father.
The woman who's happily married with 3 kids, she's basically saying how, like, if they were to ever divorce, she's groomed Mel is his name, so well to be an amazing husband throughout the years. Because the man that he is now at 28 is not the man that he was at 20 when they first started dating. You know what I mean? Like, she basically, she's even 25. Like, she's very young. Yeah, so I'm just like, that is so true. Like, people have been in relationships for so long.
Too.
Yeah, like
if me and my boyfriend ever break up,
the next girl who gets them,
so lucky.
You're gonna get a man who is patient, knows that women go through things hormonally. They're not the same girl every week. Like, you're gonna know, like, birthdays are a huge thing. Valentine's Day, never show up without anything. Like, these are like standard things that, like, especially if they've been in a long-term relationship, I feel like that is what like really makes a good man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If me and my boyfriend ever broke up, like, you're so welcome.
Yeah.
Like, you're so welcome.
You're welcome. Like, actually, you're welcome. And enjoy him.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope you have a great time. Okay, guys. So I thought it would be kind of fun if we played We're Not Really Strangers with each other, because I feel like we talk about a lot of other stuff, but, like, let's get intimate. My favorite thing is to trauma bond with people.
Oh,
not
God,
everybody,
I love it.
but, like, that's how you get really close with people. You know what I mean?
And when you have similar traumas too.
Oh, it's the best. It's so
Sisters
good.
even.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously me and Shoshana have been friends for like 15, 20 years. Like,
not
holy
20
fuck.
years. We're not that old.
Oh yeah, you're right.
15, 16, I think.
It's a very long time. And we've had our ups and downs in our relationship. So I feel like this is cute and we should, like, I don't know, let us know if you enjoy it. I think it's cute, but we have to find the question. Okay. What insecurity of yours holds you back the most?
Like, physically or
anything, any insecurity.
Physically, I think my boobs, how big they are.
True.
You know, like, definitely. I know, like, some people would be like, really, girl? But, like, y'all don't understand.
No,
okay, you guys actually
really
don't get
not
it.
Fun. Yeah.
Definitely that. Personally, I would say probably my ability to, like, not want to get close to a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? Like, not like, hard for me to form, like, close bonds or trust people that I don't really know. Like, you know, like, a lot of my friends that I've known for so long, but, like, even, like, new friends, like, I struggle with getting close to them, like, you know, because, like, I don't know, it's hard for me to trust people. Yeah, maybe trust.
I get that, and I think that's pretty common.
Even my, like, attachment style too. Like, I feel like that plays a part in not wanting to do that. Like, not really like not initiating conversation or hangouts or like, you know.
And with new relationships, it's like you can't really get anywhere if you don't initiate.
If you don't do it,
you have to, like, date new friends, because if not, like, the relationship won't go anywhere.
What lesson took you the longest to unlearn?
Wait, that's hard.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I had to unlearn.
Can I answer too?
Yeah. Oh my God, I should have answered your question too.
Answered it.
What was the question I asked you?
What's your biggest what insecurity is holding you back the most, right?
Yeah. Physically.
Are you trying to sing? Like, what are you trying to do right now?
Physically, I think probably my boobs too.
Yeah.
Maybe my confusion in my style, because who I am inside, I haven't found a way to connect that to my style yet. Yeah. And I feel like I have like I know how I want to dress, but then something holds me back, or like I don't actually dress like that. And I feel like I would reach my full confident self, full potential if I got to dress how I actually want to dress in my head.
Or like if you knew how to style yourself and your body properly.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like my personal style might be my biggest insecurity right now.
Yeah.
And then my like personally, like, my insecurity, I think maybe I don't know. I feel like actually, like, I've kind of been better at, like, maybe okay, I definitely have trust issues. I definitely have trust issues too, like, with people, and like, but I have no problem getting intimate though. I get intimate with people, and I do get close to people.
I can with like a couple drinks. Alcohol is definitely my vice, but like if we're drinking and stuff, okay, I'm actually open.
An open book.
An open book. Yeah, like, you know,
and actually
courage is a real thing.
Connecting with people.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. I love getting deep with people. I can do all that and still somehow keep you at a distance. And like, so there's still like a little bit of, so the biggest lesson
that you had to unlearn.
I guess maybe, and this is so corny, but like, people are not like how you are. And like, you can't assume people have the best intentions towards you, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be like, no one is coming to save you.
Oh my God.
It's actually very, like,
that's a
creepy.
good one.
It's so good.
That's a really good one.
No one's coming to save you. Not your parents.
No.
Not your friends.
Oh my God.
Not anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was really deep.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I am so with you. Because I was thinking like, it's you in this world. It's you alone.
You were born here alone.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And it's actually up to you and you alone on how your life
on how your life ends up.
Yeah.
It's actually all up to you.
Yeah.
Like, every decision you make, every career choice, every move.
Yeah. Every move you do
every
or don't
relationship.
Make. Yep. Yep.
No one's coming to save you.
Nobody's coming to save you.
You and your faults.
And every choice I see people make, it's like, I hear you.
Yeah.
Even people who just want to sleep outside on the floor, I hear it. I get it.
Lay down in grass. You ever just like sit at the park and just like people, like, what's it called?
Watch.
People watch. Yeah. Like everyone doing their own thing. Someone on a hammock just like literally laying down, sitting, just being alone and staring at the grass and trees. Like, I get it. You know, life is a handful.
Life is a handful. So I get people who give up.
Yeah.
I get people who don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. It's so frustrating too.
Frustrating.
Like, yeah.
That is so deep. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a great answer. Do you want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay, this is a question for each other. So we can ask each other. Okay, the question is, what do you think my defining character is? Ooh. Should I answer first? Okay. I think your defining character is, when I think of Shoshana, what do I think of? Oh my God, isn't it so fun to talk about each other? Okay. Sorry.
Okay. It's interesting for like the viewers to figure us out too.
I don't know how to say it, but like your likableness. I feel like people can't meet you and not like you.
Nice.
I feel like you're really good at like being with so many different kinds of people.
I agree.
Like even like the friends you do have, they're all so different, from each other.
Yeah,
and I think
that's so true.
Where it's like, I think I would like not be as close with everyone, but like you can do it. Like, you know what I mean? Because you have like that versatility. Or like, I don't know, moldability. I don't know. I think I don't know how to describe it.
I think
would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I think it's just like my level of understanding people too, and like allowing people to be themselves too.
I think that's what it is. Like I like you kind of just like sit back and like, let it happen.
Let them be them.
Yeah, and it's like you can kind of not take on any personality, but like you can.
I'm willing to just accept it too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Okay,
you know. Okay, for you, defining character about them. I'm trying to word this properly.
Okay.
And it all ties into like your sign too, and mine did too.
Yeah.
Definitely. But like I would say like your ability like to get shit done. Okay. Kind of like when you have your mind set on something, you're kind of like you're gonna get it done, and like you're fully invested in it too. You know what I mean? Like even like this whole merch thing and stuff. Like you're very like taking initiative and stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna see things through and like do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think like I can be, I don't know, like I have like a,
it's not fear of failure, is it? It's not that. Yeah, I think everyone does, but
I'm like I can like take a lead in things like sometimes. If I
leadership, that's what it is.
Like I have like sometimes I just like assume that maybe it's like my birth placement, like where I'm like, because I'm the first daughter, but there's something like if I want to, I'll step up to a plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's
I see that. That's
definitely you.
That's cool. I like that. I think you guys should play this too if you're at home with your friends. It's pretty cool.
I've heard about this card game too.
We're not really strangers, right? We should buy the deck.
It's just like you said, what was it?
Intimacy questions.
Intimacy questions. Yeah, but like I definitely heard of weird.
Yeah, it's like things like you ask each other, and it's like ways to like get to know each other better. I don't know. Let me know if you guys like that.
Every episode.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We should get the deck. It's like $25.
Okay, so we've been yapping for so long. We hope you guys enjoyed that little segment. I liked it. It was really cute. But now we're gonna get into the spooky stories that we've been telling you guys about from the beginning. I'm actually terrified. Okay,
should I go first?
Yes, go first.
So this is called A Very Weird Encounter with My Mother, ?
Okay.
And this is an experience that somebody had. I've had Reddit a few months now, but it somehow just occurred to me while reading and listening to some stories here that I actually have one that I can share and love telling even. I don't know if this counts as explicitly paranormal. It certainly wasn't a ghost in the normal sense. My mother is still alive and well to this day and was in fine health when this took place. So when I was like 8, 9-ish, I regularly stayed up late. I still do. I think it had something to do with usually listening to my parents fight and the fact that I was on edge when they were both in the house. Anyway, that bit isn't important. What is important is that this was another night I was up late, or late for a child, so like 10 or 11. I had a TV in my room that I was watching, just hanging out in bed next to my heavily sleeping sister. I think I must have gotten the feeling I was being watched, so I looked over my shoulder and saw my mom standing over me.
Oh.
I still remember this like it could have been yesterday. It's such a clear thing in my mind. It makes me sure I experienced it and that I literally wasn't dreaming. Her face was blank. Not literally, but there was absolutely nothing in her eyes. She wasn't smiling at me or frowning even. Her face was as neutral as it possibly could be, and her eyes looked empty. It wasn't like she was looking through me like some people describe. She was definitely looking at me. I remember already feeling weirdly uneasy just at this. I think partly because I hadn't seen her come in. The TV, while I was definitely watching it, was basically next to the door. I would have seen her come in, but I assumed she was upset because I was up so late. I'd been caught staying up late before, and I never ever missed seeing and hearing her or my dad coming upstairs or entering the room. I wish I could remember what I said, but I know I tried to speak to her. She didn't respond at all. And now that I'm putting this into words properly, I don't think I can recall her even blinking once.
Oh.
I tried a few times to get a reply, but every time all she did was stare at me with that terrible empty look. At some point, I hid under the covers.
Oh.
I remember peeking out a few times to see her still looking at me, face unchanged. Then I turned to look at my sister, uncovered by the blankets. I remember wishing I could do something to hide her too, but I couldn't will myself to move because I was so afraid, and I certainly didn't want to come out from under the covers. When I looked back, my mother wasn't there. I never even heard her leave. The TV had gone black, not off, but on a blank screen, which was weird because I know it played shows constantly all night, and it had never been on this blank screen before or after this. You know when you have a TV connected to something, then you unplug the thing? It was basically that screen, but there was no connection message, or nothing had been unplugged in any way. I stayed under the covers until I somehow fell asleep. I don't remember how long I was awake after she left, but I'm pretty sure it was still dark outside by the time I was asleep. Obviously, I asked my mom in the morning what the hell she'd been doing, and I distinctly remember this one, why she hadn't answered me. Of course, she had no idea what I was talking about. She said she hadn't come up to see us or woken up at all the night before. I seriously doubt it was me dreaming or her sleepwalking. It was so real, and while I recognize that sometimes dreams are like that, mine are never so grounded in reality, and I just never have a strong feeling about it. She's never sleepwalked, not before this story or after. To this day, I think it's the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. I haven't brought it up to her in years, but now that I write it down, I'm tempted. How fucking creepy is that? Did you see that one YouTube short of this one? It was like a black mom and black daughter. She was in the kitchen, and her mom had gone for a trip.
I did. It's not a YouTube short. It's a short movie.
Yeah, it's a short movie. It's like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, I love those short movies on YouTube.
Oh my God.
So good, and they're straight to the point. Like, I love it.
Oh my God. So she was in her kitchen, and then the mom comes in the kitchen, and she's just staring at her. Like,
she was even like, "Mom, aren't you supposed to be at the airport?"
Yeah, like she's like, "What are you doing here? Like, did you come back early? Like, this is so weird." And like, she's having this very strange interaction with her mother, and she's like so confused because her mom's not acting like herself. And then all of a sudden, she gets a phone call, and it's from her mom, and she answers the phone call, and her mom's like, "Hey, I'm at the airport. I just wanted to check in on you. What's up?"
Yeah,
and then she's like.
And then she looks up,
and her mom is right in her face. Yeah. And it just gave me chills because I see these, like, obviously at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm scrolling TikTok, I see these things about, like, skinwalkers and these beings that take, you know, like, there's this thing.
That's what I'm the most scared of.
Oh,
like,
my
human
God.
beings that have been, like, possessed or, like, whatever the fuck it is.
It's not who you think it is.
Have you ever had, like, a repetitive dream?
Yes.
I still have those. It's so weird.
You still have those?
Yeah. I've had the same one for like a couple years in my life, and now it's a new one. Wait,
what is it?
So the first one that I had was just me somewhere in my dream. I don't know if it was the whole dream. It's definitely not the whole dream, but like you know, like there's a sequence of dreams in one dream. Okay. It was just me running up like a staircase, like the apartment staircase.
Okay.
Kept running up. And like sometimes there was a lot of people, sometimes there wasn't. Sometimes it was just me. Okay. And I was like, what the fuck does this mean? So I Googled it because you know how dreams have meanings? Yeah. And it just meant like you're like trying to strive for like a certain level of success. Okay. Or like you're trying to like evolve in your life and like, you know, like that whole escalating
like you're going up.
Yeah,
the
like you're
stairs.
going
Yeah.
up and like you're chasing it too.
Okay.
And I was like, that makes so much sense.
Okay,
too.
so
Because it was like
scary.
a time in my life, which I'm still in, kind of, you know, where like you're still trying to like establish yourself and like you're trying to do, you know, better for yourself and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow,
That's
guess it's really stressing me out.
Yeah,
like none of my
penetrating my
dreams get out.
dreams.
And then this repetitive dream that I'm having is like me showing someone who's not in my life anymore, which is a brand new apartment. And like it's so weird because I'm doing like a house tour with him, and it's not this apartment.
Yeah,
it's some next apartment.
And it's his apartment.
It's mine.
Oh,
So I'm like showing him like my apartment, and I'm like, why the fuck does this nigga keep popping up in my dream? It's so fucking weird.
maybe like a part of you is still concerned about him.
Maybe.
And like you still want him in your life.
I think that's what that's trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Or like,
because like you want him in that next chapter.
yeah,
Maybe it's like
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
hope
I
in your
think so.
Subconscious.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's like
kind of sad.
it's really sad.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Once?
Oh my god, how terrifying.
Once consecutively for like 3 nights in a row. It was fucking weird. Oh, and it was a monster.
Excuse me?
Oh, so okay, so I had sleep paralysis. I was sleeping, and right at the doorway, maybe it was a feng shui in my bedroom. It happened at my mom's house. I don't know, but
oh my god,
right at the doorway was like a monster, like a figure.
Oh my
right?
god.
So I was like screaming. I couldn't move.
You're frozen.
I'm frozen, right? And then I like managed to like snap out of it, and I went back to sleep. And then I turned to my side, right? So I'm in bed, turned to my side. I have sleep paralysis again, but the monster is right beside me now.
Wait.
Like I opened my eyes and he's right there, and I'm still in sleep paralysis.
I think you saw the devil.
No, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it was crazy.
Wait, I've never had sleep paralysis on my side. Everybody knows you only get it on your back.
No, I had it on my side too.
Oh, see, I would.
You
I would
can
be like,
get
how do I
it
sleep?
on your back, but like
I would say
I mean,
can't
you
sleep.
can get it on your side too.
No, I'm sure you can, but for me, the reason I can't sleep on my back when everyone's talking about sleep on your back, it
Yeah.
helps your lines, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
whatever. I can't because I'm gonna get sleep paralysis.
Do you
I'm
still
so scared.
get sleep paralysis?
No,
Like-
I don't, but I think it's because I stopped sleeping on my back.
Okay.
So
Sometimes I can't help it. I move in my sleep, and then I end up on my back.
I never do. It's like
Really?
subconsciously I know because I was so terrified
Oh,
that one time.
wow.
So it happened twice, and the first time was really creepy because it happened like a long time ago when I was living like in housing, like when I was a kid, and I was sleeping in my parents' bed. There was like a corner where the door was, and I'm sleeping, and nobody else is in their bed with me. I may have been napping or something, and so I wake up, I can't move, and I see a figure in the corner, and she's like this tall, skinny woman.
I hate that.
And she was so scary. Like she was like, you couldn't really see her face, but like I could see her mouth and I could see her hair. And like, it was so creepy, and it scared the shit out of me.
As
I
a
was
kid?
a kid.
Oh yeah.
Right. So then, in real life, like me and my mom were doing laundry together. Like you have to go downstairs to do laundry in the laundry room. We're in the elevator, and it's in the middle of the day, so like the elevators are really empty. Like we're just going up and down pretty freely. And so we stop at like a floor, and this really tall, skinny woman comes in.
How do you remember this?
Because
That's
it's like
crazy.
ingrained in my brain how terrifying it is.
Yeah.
So she comes in, and the elevator closes, and she's like by where the buttons are to press where she's going. The elevator door closes, and then she turns around, and it's just me and my mom. And my mom is a tiny woman. And it's just me and my mom in the corner of the elevator. She's at the opposite corner, and then she walks over to us, and she's like peering down at us. And she's like whispering this like really scary shit at us. She was just like saying like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna kill you. Did like scary fucking shit. And then she was also calling us the N-word. Like she was like insane. Like it was so terrifying. And I'm like, I had this dream of this tall, skinny, terrifying woman, and it's like as if she came out from my brain and then came onto the elevator and then cornered me and my mom. Me and my mom got so scared, like we called the police and everything, and like had police come to our house, and like so she was not that tall in real life. It's just I was a child and my mom is so small.
Yeah,
she was probably like 5'10", still pretty tall for a woman, and she was older, and she's just like a mentally ill woman. And it's funny now because she comes at the hospital that my mom works to.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
leave me alone.
No,
Please,
no, like, but it when my kid brain couldn't
Yeah.
understand that I had this nightmare, and then I saw her, like
Yeah.
as if like I predicted seeing her.
Yeah.
It was so scary.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was a warning.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. I love being scared. Creepy.
If you take the back roads, don't stop.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend and I like to drive on the weekends. Something we both had in common was that when we were younger, our families would take us on road trips on the weekends to break away from the weekly monotony. This is something that we kept going well into adulthood. And after a long week of soul-crushing 9 to 5, we would pack up and go on adventures together. After our most recent adventure, we were heading back home when a traffic accident stopped all highway traffic dead for hours. At this rate, we aren't gonna get back home in time. My girlfriend said this while browsing Reddit on her phone. Well, it's not like I can fly a car over the traffic. We knew this adventure was risky. We didn't have room for error when driving out of state. A delay like this would run us the risk of missing work and eating into our paychecks.
Oh shit.
And when you're a young American couple with debt and living paycheck to paycheck, that's not really an option. I'm gonna try to see what the holdup is. Try to find us another route. I got out of my car and walked down the road to see how bad the situation was and maybe get an update on how long we would be stuck here for. I didn't get the chance to talk to anyone. Maybe 3 minutes into my walk, I could see dozens of police, fire, and rescue vehicles trying to stop the fire caused by a collision. Needless to say, we wouldn't be going anywhere for hours. Defeated, I walked back to my car. Well, it looks like we're fucked, I said to my girlfriend while I closed the car door. Not necessarily. I found a road that will take us around the highway crash. That was odd. Then again, Google Maps never gives you the fastest route to a place. Why didn't we see that before? I asked as my girlfriend showed me her phone screen. There was a back road that Google had not even recommended. It would have us get back on track in about an hour, much faster than waiting around for emergency services to clear the road for traffic to flow. Without much hesitation, I said fuck it and passed a few cars to do an illegal U-turn. Thankfully, cops were too busy to notice me driving away in the opposite direction. Night had caught up to us while on the road, and the closer we got to the back roads, we would see less signs of civilization. When we finally got to the road, it was in pretty bad conditions. Potholes and unkept wood would make our drive that much slower. We had not seen post lights, other cars, or houses for miles. Driving on that road had me extremely nervous, although I tried to not show it for my girlfriend's sake.
Yeah, you better not be scared in a scary situation.
I'm terrified.
I'm already scared.
Imagine how I feel. This would not be the road anyone would like to be stuck in the middle of the night. Just like I had somehow brought that thought into the universe, we saw a stalled car in the road. The road wasn't wide for two vehicles to ride alongside each other without one driving into the woods, and I was not looking to mess up our only way out of this creepy place. I parked the car 10 feet behind the vehicle in front of us. You know, this is how every horror movie starts, right? My girlfriend said while very clearly terrified. I know, but there's not that many options here. I reached into the glove box and grabbed my Glock.
What?
He grabbed his gun.
Okay.
He's American. I've never actually shot the thing aside from the range, but maybe it would help me feel better about walking out of my perfectly fine car. It didn't. I slowly walked towards the car with my phone's flashlight leading the way and my gun in the other hand. The car lights were on and I was close enough to hear it was on. Hey, do you need some help? I asked firmly, trying to not let my voice tremble. No reply came from the car. As I got next to it, I could see no one was in it. It didn't make sense for someone to just leave their car running in the middle of the road. So I immediately raised my gun and looked around. I've heard of assholes doing this sort of thing to rob anyone that stopped to help. My heart skipped a beat as I looked in the back of the car and realized there was an empty baby seat. It took me a few moments to snap out of the shock and confusion, but I sat on the driver's seat and moved the car out of the road. As soon as I stepped out, I realized that aside from my breathing, the night was as quiet as the dead. An overwhelming sense of dread showered over me, and I nearly had a heart attack when I heard a voice scream out, "Help me!" Someone cried out from somewhere in the woods. Something was not right with that voice. It didn't sound like a voice that could even come from a human. "Please help me! It took my baby!" I stayed just as quiet as the first time it spoke. Whatever was calling for help was a few feet in front of me in the woods. I tried to ignore it. Every fiber of my being wanted to sprint back to the car and drive away to safety. But a morbidly curious part of me forced me to point my phone's flashlight in the direction that the voice was coming from. In the tree line, I could make out the humanoid shape of something. No human had such features, but I could tell it was holding onto something human. The small fat leg of a baby he was still munching on like a chicken leg.
Wait, what?
I stopped breathing for a few moments when it shot me a sickening smile. His grotesque, crooked fangs were stained with crimson. I completely freaked out. I dropped my phone and immediately unloaded my gun straight at the fucker. Only stopping when pulling the trigger did nothing. I picked up my phone from the ground and started to carefully walk back to the car. "You miss me?" Something said in a mocking tone, too fucking close to me in the darkness.
What?
I sprinted as fast as I possibly could back to my car and floored it as soon as I locked my door. I sped so fast out of the road I almost crashed multiple times, even when I was miles away from that place. I didn't even register that my girlfriend wasn't in the passenger seat anymore.
No, they got her! My wife has been missing for 15 years.
Oh.
Until she called my phone out of the blue.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to talk about what happened 15 years ago. I don't even like to think about the fact that on January 7th, 2008, Sarah Collins, beloved member of the community, left home to run an errand, was then never seen again. It was a huge case back then. Everyone seemed to want to know what happened to her, but no one was more desperate for answers than I was. Sarah and I had been married for 5 years. I knew as soon as I met her that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. She had one of those smiles that just lit up a room. That's why it was so hard to believe that such a beautiful, successful woman had seemingly disappeared. They hadn't even recovered her body 15 years later, and they still didn't have a shred of evidence. Not a tire track or a fingerprint, nothing. The police put out an appeal, but no one came forward. Somehow, not a single person had seen her. It was like she had vanished without a trace. I think about Sarah a lot. I could never quite bring myself to take down the photos of her from around the house. Sarah's bright face still smiles down at me from every room. There's one photo of her from our wedding day that I really love. Looking at it is like looking straight at her. It captured her perfectly. 2 days ago, I found myself staring at it, really getting lost in the details. Her eyes, the way the corners of her mouth were lifting into a smile, the small dimple in her left cheek. I was looking at it so intently that I almost didn't notice the phone ringing. It was the landline phone, which was odd as no one ever called me on that landline anymore. It was all mobiles nowadays. When I looked at the caller ID, it was an unknown number. I shrugged and picked it up anyway. It was probably just the bank calling to confirm something. The call took a moment to connect, and when it did, I heard a strange rustling sound on the other end of the line. Hello? I wasn't in the mood for any prank callers. Is anyone there? Hello? Daniel? Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you.
Oh my
God. The voice on the other end was the line of a woman's voice, shaking and breathless. Daniel, it's me. It's Sarah. Are you there?
Oh my God.
When I heard her name, it was like my heart had stopped beating for a moment. Sarah, my Sarah. But that was impossible. Sarah had gone missing 15 years ago. Whoever this was, it was not my wife. I don't know who you are, but you are not Sarah. I hissed into the phone coldly. Stop calling this number. I had dealt with a lot of these calls, especially when Sarah first went missing. Con artists, fraudsters, anyone who wanted to manipulate a grieving husband. I knew none of them were my wife. No, Daniel, wait, you have to listen to me. It's me, Sarah. You have to believe me. She was sounding shrill and desperate now, and even a little hysterical. The lengths that people go to in order to sell a lie is astonishing. Why are you doing this? I asked angrily. It's been 15 years since my wife disappeared. What do you want from me? For a moment, the woman on the other end of the line didn't respond. I was beginning to think that the call had disconnected when she finally spoke. Daniel, please, it's me. It's your wife, Sarah, the woman begged. I'm telling the truth, it's me. She continued to plead, but I had enough. I wasn't going to listen to this anymore. Don't call this number again, I firmly told her, hanging up. I thought that would do it. She wouldn't be likely to call me again. I assumed it was all over. The next day, I had asked a friend to help me repair my plumbing system. It was a good friend since college. He had been there for me when Sarah disappeared, getting me through it. We were both taking a break, catching up on the important events in each other's lives, when my landline phone began to ring again. Sorry, I have to take this. It might be important, I said, getting up from my seat and making my way to the phone. I noticed that the call was coming from an unknown number, just as it had the day before. I didn't make a connection right away. After all, it could have just been a bank this time around. I picked up the phone and I heard the same rustling sound. It was unsettling in a strange way. I almost felt like I had heard it before. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Hello? I was already beginning to get a good idea of what this call was, and I wasn't happy about it. I told you not to call this number. Daniel? Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you. The very same words that she had said before. Daniel, it's me. It's Sarah. Are you there? It was undoubtedly the same woman. I don't have time for this, I hissed into the phone. I know you're not Sarah. Stop calling me. I hung up the call and walked back to my friend, who looked confused. Who was that? He asked me. I heard you saying Sarah's name. Is everything okay? It was some prank caller trying to pretend to be Sarah, I told him, rolling my eyes. I thought that I had left it all behind. I've changed my phone number. I don't know how this woman got a hold of my new one. Pretending to be Sarah, my friend echoed. That's really strange. Did you tell anyone about it? Like the police? No, I shake my head. There's no need. It's probably just someone trying to cause a bit of drama. They probably want money or something like that. I made it clear that was the end of the conversation. I didn't want to continue talking about it, bringing up harmful reminders of the past. I woke up the next day not expecting to get any more calls from the unknown number. I made it very clear that I wouldn't be participating in her charade. However, I was quickly proven wrong. As soon as I started to walk downstairs for a glass of water, the phone rang again. I thought about letting it ring, but I had a much better idea. I was going to issue a much stronger warning to the caller, even threaten to get the police involved if the calls wouldn't stop. That would scare her. I was certain of it. I picked up the phone, hearing the very same eerie rustling. I couldn't explain it, but it made a shiver run up my spine. Finally, the call connected. It's the same as the other times, the same pathetic monologue. Daniel? Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you. Maybe it was even a recorded message? Daniel, it's me. It's Sarah. Are you there? If you don't stop calling this number, I'll have no choice but to involve the police, I told the caller. This is harassment. If you want money, try conning someone else. Before I could even give the woman on the other line a chance to answer, I hung up the call. Hopefully this would show her that she wouldn't be manipulating me. I could see right through her elaborate scam. I was sure that my warning would stop the calls coming in. I was so sure of myself that when I was broken by a loud, persisting ringing the next morning, I didn't even think to connect it to the unknown number calls. I first assumed it was my alarm waking me up, but when I turned to look, I saw the alarm hadn't gone off yet. That's when I reached the conclusion that it was the landline phone. I rushed down the stairs, waiting to tell the caller that I would be taking police action, wanting to catch out the desperate scammer. Fortunately, I got down there in time and picked up the phone. Holding it to my ear, I hear the same creepy rustling that I had become familiar with. It still made my heart beat faster just for the few seconds until the call connected. Daniel? Daniel, thank goodness I finally reached you. The usual message of hysteria came through the phone I was well used to hearing by now. Daniel, it's me. It's Sarah. Are you there?
Oh my gosh.
I gave you a warning. I said that if you called again, I'd be taking legal action. I spoke into the phone loudly so that whoever was on the other side would be sure to hear me. You've gone too far now. I have to do something about this. I waited for the woman to respond. Daniel? No, it's me. I'm not lying to you. I would never lie to you. Daniel, it's me. Sarah, your wife. It's me. I can't stand the high-pitched whine of her voice. You're not Sarah, I told her bitterly. I know you're not Sarah. I'll be taking action. Goodbye. I hung up the call for the final time and placed the phone back. I know that woman wasn't Sarah. I know for a fact she wasn't. I know it because on January 7th, 2008, Sarah Collins, beloved member of the community, was killed, and I was the one who killed her.
I knew it.
Oh my God!
Why did I know her? I knew it. Especially at the end when he's just like, I knew it wasn't her.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Sarah was an incredibly beautiful woman. I couldn't believe my luck when she first started showing interest in me. I didn't exactly have a lot of experience when talking to women.
Shut up! I don't want to hear the rest of the story. You killed this bitch. And you're trying to like no.
Pretty much, he was pretty much
murderer.
he was saying that like he killed her because after years of marriage, she started losing interest in him, and he couldn't stand the fact that somebody else would be getting her. So even if she died as his wife, she would always be his wife.
He's fucking weird.
It's always the husband.
I hate that. They say like if someone is murdered, 80% of the time it was by someone that they knew.
Yep, I'm sure it's even higher.
Okay, so these are like kind of short excerpts of like creepy stories. You know what I mean? Like creepy things that have happened. So it's not like a full ass story.
Okay.
But it's like little creepy things. Okay. It's under a Reddit forum called "What is the scariest story you know that is 100% true?" A female friend in college disappeared from a party at another university in the city town 25-ish miles north of our school. She had arrived with another friend who I believe had driven. At some point, she split off to play cornhole or something and was later inexplicably gone. Phone calls went to voicemail, police were called, but she was simply missing. About 10 days later, she was found by a homeless man who witnessed her crawling up to a bus stop in the city begging for help.
Oh, she's alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had broken a leg and an arm and was in very bad shape. At the quite large party, she had her drink secretly drugged and was then led off by a group of men into their vehicle. She was taken to an apartment where she was drugged, repeatedly assayed, and locked in a small room with a bucket to use as a bathroom. At one point, after being injected with heroin and raped, she somehow managed to convince one of her captors to allow her to use the actual bathroom to clean herself up. This bathroom had a small window to the outside, and with the shower running, she managed to squeeze out and fell from the third story into a large bush. From there, she crawled from the apartment complex to the road and bus stop, where the homeless man saw her and called police. Many cars stopped upon seeing her, making her captives unable to recapture her. 3 men were later arrested for the crime after surveillance cameras allowed police to locate the apartment which she jumped from. She returned to our university almost 2 years later, graduated, and became a nurse. She was obviously traumatized, never partied again, carried a gun everywhere she could, and somehow moved on with life. It was a terrifying tale none of us ever forgot. She was an 18-year-old freshman when the incident happened.
Damn.
Crazy. And
there's so many fucked up stories like that.
Yeah. There's this one that's like, what's the creepiest thing that has ever happened to you? That subreddit too. I was on a road trip with my father from Texas to Utah. We were driving on the highway and it was around 3 a.m. Suddenly, my dad stops because there's a log in the middle of the road. I step out with him to help him move it. As we were driving off, I saw two men place the log on the road again.
Wait, what?
They were waiting for a girl to get out and move it.
Stop.
Yeah, so
that
it's
is
like,
so scary.
yeah, it's planned. Isn't that creepy?
Oh my god, that is super creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we have trust issues.
No, we can. You
Because
can never
why
be
would
too
I-
safe.
Why would I trust anyone?
No, especially a man.
Oh,
Fuck no. You know that whole
don't
like,
trust
would
men.
you rather be stuck in a forest with a bear or a man?
Mm-hmm. And a lot
And
of
a
people,
lot
pick
of
the
people
bear.
chose the bear.
Because at least you can know what to expect with the bear. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna eat me. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But a man,
Yeah,
man could
a
torture you.
human. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. Should we do an Am I the Asshole?
I think so. Yeah. So now we're gonna get into actual am I the a-holes?
Am I the asshole for checking out of my relationship after my wife said she wished I had a bigger dick, but we don't always get what we want?
Ooh.
My wife, 34 female, and I, 34 male, have been married for 8 years, and we have a 5-year-old son. Over the past few months, my wife and I have occasionally have been having arguments on finances. The main argument we've been having is that I want to take our family out on vacation to a different state, but my wife wants to save up so we can travel abroad next year. Last month, my wife and I were having an argument again about this, and I was telling her a vacation would really be good for our family and our son. We talked back and forth, and I could sense my wife was getting exasperated. But I stood my ground. I told her we could take a vacation now, and we can also go abroad next year, and my wife just lost her cool and said that the finances made that impractical, and that she also wished I had a bigger dick, but in life we don't always get what we want.
No, you didn't need to throw it in there.
That's like so unnecessary.
No, you like
she said it for
had
fun.
nothing to do
Ye-
with the
like,
argument.
Well, like, it's like, why are you talking about
Why
that?
would you
What?
bring that up?
That stung me. I'm aware I have an average sized dick,
Aw.
but I've never had any complaints from anyone on it until now, and to hear it from my wife, it just
Of
numbed
8
me.
years?
Yeah.
Oh.
I then checked out of out of the conversation, and my wife instantly apologized after she said that. I told her it was okay, and then I went to sleep. From the next day on, however, I distanced myself from my wife and just focused on my work and my son. My wife tried to initiate conversation and apologized multiple times, and I usually just ignored her and told her to let it go. I also started eating out as I did not want to eat my wife's dinner. My wife initiated sex one night, and I told her to get off me. My birthday was a few days ago, and I ignored my wife when she wished me or when she tried to kiss me. I didn't do anything for my birthday, and when my wife gave me a gift, which was packaged also with a handwritten letter, I told her to return it. I have no idea what the gift was or what was written in the letter, and I don't really care. I'm at my limit now, and I know this is not healthy or sustainable, so I have seriously started considering divorce. But I also wanted to get an opinion from the people I trusted the most in the world, my 2 siblings. My brother thinks I should just at least consider marriage counseling before proceeding with divorce, as he doesn't think this is worth jumping straight to divorce for. My sister has the opposite opinion. She thinks I'm still young and fit and have a long life ahead of me, and it should be very easy for me to get with someone who's much more beautiful than my wife, both on the exterior and the interior. Am I the asshole for checking out of my relationship and considering a divorce?
You're not the asshole. Absolutely not. For
Yeah.
considering it. Okay. Like, obviously, in the heat of the moment and like that hit to your ego as
Yeah.
a man, talking about like, especially if there's never been a topic of conversation before too, like never had any issues with your sex life or anything. So it means like she's been thinking this, you
For
know, throughout
sure.
the whole relationship
Yeah.
and decided to like use it as ammo in the midst of an argument. But it doesn't even go like it had nothing to.
It shows
I
how
had-
much you've been thinking
Yeah,
about
like
it.
it's like you really just wanted to hurt me.
Yeah.
Right? Like I had nothing to do with the argument.
Yes.
So I don't think you're the asshole, but I also don't agree that it's reasonable grounds for a divorce. You know?
Yeah.
Like you have every right to feel the way you do.
Yeah. I just think like the idea of somebody saying something to you just to hurt you, it's like it's just so ugly.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what
so
I mean?
childish.
It's so
too.
childish too, and like especially over something that he can't change. And it's like, okay, so now I'm gonna think about this every time we have
Yeah.
sex. Why would you now come and ruin our sex life?
Mm-hmm.
That's just like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's the asshole for considering it, but I kind of agree too. I don't really think it's grounds for divorce, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, damn, if my husband said something like that to me, like, I think your vagina's ugly. Imagine, like, or like, I don't, and like, I'm just trying to think of something you can't fix,
Yeah,
because boobs you
something
can
equivalent.
fix, and you can fix vagina too, low key, but like, who's doing all that?
You know, I heard people are trying to get injections to make their vagina fatter. Like,
No way.
I said, y'all want this shit?
y'all
Like,
want
what the
this?
fuck?
Wait.
Yo, the way I have a very, this has nothing to do with the story, but very vivid memory of me as a kid. I was very stupid as a kid, right? And I would just ask my mom, tell my mom everything. So I remember going up to her as a kid, grabbing my vagina and asking her, Mom, why is my vagina so fat?
Yeah.
Like, I literally used to ask her as a kid too.
What did she say?
And she's just like, she started laughing. She's like, trying to shut the fuck up and go back to the room.
Get
like,
out of my face.
I don't.
Like, actually, I have life to worry about. Get the fuck out of my face.
She's actually dying too. Cause she's like, what are you asking me right now?
My mom, like, she has a lot of, like, obviously different friends at work. In nursing, I think a lot of times races stick with each other, like, you know, so she, like, and black is just all the black. So she came to me one day when I was wearing leggings and she said, your pum pum looks fat in that.
Wait, who said that?
My mother.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. But
it wasn't a compliment. It was for her to tell me to take it off and wear something else.
No, she did not say pum pum.
Yeah,
the term pum
she
pum.
says your pum pum is out.
No.
Like she always says pum pum. I said
that is
which
hilarious.
Jamaican nurse lady told you that word because that's not in your vocabulary, lady. Like that's not a word you know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
asshole.
It's kind of like no matter which way you go, I would kind of understand because if there were other issues in the relationship.
You should, I don't know, like maybe, because like why would you say it if you didn't mean it? You know what I mean?
Maybe
like I was like maybe she didn't mean it fully. Like obviously you satisfy her. Like you know what I mean? If she's been there for 8 years or like, I don't know, like maybe she just wanted to hurt you.
Yeah.
And like maybe like she actually doesn't mean it. You know, like it doesn't actually affect her sex life. She just wanted to hurt you.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
and
so maybe
you guys need to have. I agree. I think they need to have some more conversation.
Yeah, I don't think it's like grounds for a divorce. Am I the asshole for breaking up with and kicking my girlfriend out because she went to an after party without me? I, 24 male, and my girlfriend, 23 female, Anne, began dating in college. Last week, Anne invited me to her coworker's Joe party. I had heard a lot about him in the past, and he and she really seemed to have a lot in common, especially with their taste in music. Apparently, he was an amateur musician with a fairly successful YouTube channel. Joe initially invited only Anne, but when she asked him if I could tag along, he said it was fine. The party was on Saturday evening. It was a fun party with about 30 people, held at a restaurant Joe had rented out. Towards the end, though, I wandered into Anne's little discussion group, and I immediately got the feeling that nobody really wanted me there. Most of all, Anne. It was her, Joe, and a few other people. Thinking that I was just imagining things, I hung around and listened to Joe basically boast about himself the entire time.
Right.
A little while later, I wandered off to get myself a drink and chat with a few other people. Eventually, the time to leave came around, and I went to find Anne again. Joe approached me at that point and said that he was having an after party over at his house. I was going to refuse, but then he said, sorry man, but only Anne is invited.
What?
While clapping me on the shoulder. Wait. Okay.
Don't make me stop you.
I first told him not to touch me and then said she's not going. He informed me that she had already accepted the invitation. I texted Anne immediately to ask where she was. She responded, sorry, on the way to Joe's place. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. I asked if she knew I wasn't invited, and she then left me on read. Texts after that were all ignored. I drove home furious, stayed up all night, and finally Anne walked in the door at 5:42 a.m. I know because I was by the window watching. I recognized the car as Joe's, and the driver was Joe.
Oh, God.
Nobody else was in the car. Anne waved to him cutely and laughed at something he said as she was exiting the car.
Girl.
Anne came inside and acted surprised to see me still up. At that point, I flatly told her that we were done, and she had the rest of the day to move out.
Yeah.
Anne was at first confused with me, and then I told her that she can just move in with Joe. She rolled her eyes and said nothing happened. She gave me this spiel about my insecurities and imagination. I said it didn't matter. After this back and forth arguing, Anne finally relented and sarcastically thanked me for wasting the best years of her life.
Oh, wow.
Anne finally moved out yesterday, and it was pretty dramatic. She said she loved me and that I was throwing away everything over a party. Did I do her wrong here? I feel like I'm being gaslit. Am I the asshole?
No.
No.
What do you mean? And the fact that she said, oh, you wasted the best years of my life. Like, you're not focusing on the problem here. Like, you're already kind of, like, okay with breaking up.
Yeah. Because
like,
she knows she's wrong.
Yeah.
You know you're wrong.
Super shady. And it's like, even if nothing happened at the party, which I kind of don't believe.
I don't believe that either.
The fact that you would let somebody disrespect
your boyfriend,
your man like that, and, like, tap him on the shoulder. Like, how...
Yeah, like, no, that's actually so, like,
and then,
sorry,
like,
but you're not invited.
No, like, it's like, I only want, only your girl can come.
Yeah,
it's very much like I'm the alpha dominant man here, and I'm not letting you in, but your girl can come. It's just so it's so disrespectful.
It's as though she doesn't respect her man at all.
Exactly.
Like, and she's already checked out. Like, if you're already
maybe she's checked out,
leaving him on red
and coming back at 5 a.m.
Coming home at 5 a.m. Even almost 6 like 5:46,
and like giggling. Coming in. Are you crazy?
In his car, so he dropped you home. Okay, that's weird.
No, are you
That's
crazy?
really weird. No, you're in a relationship with Joe.
No.
Your boyfriend's actually her side. You're her side man, okay? Yeah. You're not the asshole. You definitely needed to break up with her.
And she is gaslighting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
it's clear that she wants to like live her life and still have her man there. You know what I mean? Like, she still wants to live
she doesn't like him.
Maybe. Or like maybe she actually does hold some resentment for like not being able to live those wild young years because, you know, they were been together for college or whatever, or since college years. Yeah. So maybe now she's trying to do it, but like you're already in this relationship. If you don't want it, you don't want it. Like, you know, it's not like you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, like you can't really say that. That's like
done.
Literally not an excuse.
No, not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
But yeah, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know if you like the spooky stories, and if you guys like the We Are Not Really Strangers. What is it called?
Yeah, We're Not Really Strangers game,
really
the intimacy game. Guys, like, if you liked it, we kind of wanted to do a couple more spooky episodes because we're still in October.
Yeah. When we come back. But anyways, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a rating on Spotify. Let's get to 500. Yeah. That's crazy. That's a crazy number. But yeah, leave us a comment if you guys like this video.
Oh my God, leave us a comment if you guys have had any spooky things happen to you.
Oh my gosh.
I want to read that in the comments. Yeah. If there's any spooky things that you've had because it's spooky season, and let us know if you guys want to see another spooky episode next.
Even maybe submit your own, like,
oh my God,
if you guys want to
so
submit, CUETHECOMMENTARYPODCAST@gmail.com any of your like crazy experiences with supernatural things or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
would love to read about it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
Bye.